today or...
An Evening at the Movies is a proud member of the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network. Other shows in the network include Mass Debaters, The Sip List, Crushgasm, Love is Black, Men Are the Prize, Crime Rewind, and Literature Reapers. You can find out all about our shows and more at idnmtrpodcastnetwork.com. Happy listening. You are now entering the world of a movie review. A world full of drama, joy, ridicule, movie spoilers, unpopular opinions, and adult humor for as far as the eye can see. Welcome to An Evening at the Movies.
Welcome to An Evening at the Movies.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's
Welcome
so
to
official.
Jurassic Park.
It's so officially dramatic when you say, "Welcome to An Evening at the Movies."
I patterned that after Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Speaking of Jurassic Park, coming up in 1993 in the Mass Debaters movie rankings.
I am not ready for 1993. Like, I thought the 80s were hard, and they were, but I feel like because we were like middle school / teenagers in the 90s, this is just going to get more and more difficult. So, for those that don't know, we're ranking the top movies of every year on Mass Debaters, and then Dre does a video and posts it on socials and whatever, and he takes all our input to create our own top 10. And yeah. Yeah.
On a happier note, before we get into saying hello to everybody, everybody's favorite smartass is with us watching live. So say hi to your dad, Amanda.
The resident dad's here. Hi, Dad.
In case
Hello,
I've
Father.
scrolled through the comments rather quickly, he chimed in with "It seems hot in here."
It's getting hot in here. So
No, do not take off all your clothes.
I am getting so hot, I'm gonna take my clothes off. Yes, I snapped because I'm that white.
No,
Anyway.
no, we love you to death, Plobster, but we're not getting kicked off of the YouTube. Thank you very much.
Hey, lots of people would like to see me with my clothes off.
I'm not saying they wouldn't. I'm pretty sure that your dad would not.
Fair. That would be weird. We are not covering a Greek tragedy today or a Freudian type movie, so let's miss that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's an awful lot of innuendo in this movie.
Oh, all kinds of innuendo, but nothing incestuous.
Oh no, wrong kind of innuendo for this movie.
Although I have been watching a lot of Game of Thrones. I just started watching it. Yeah, like 10 years after it's over, I have started watching Game of Thrones. Hey, some people get thrown. That little kid got thrown right out a window so casually. I was like,
yeah, within the first hour of the show.
Anyway.
And the stupid thing is they freaking foreshadowed it probably in the first 5 minutes of the damn episode.
Yeah. That dude was way too casual about tossing a 10-year-old out of a tower, but whatever.
If you only think now, your opinions on Jaime Lannister, just wait just a little bit longer.
He's hot, so I don't mind him being around. The other one is the one I want to get rid of. Wait, what? This can't be right. My father has just informed us he has not watched Friends. That's not true. You've watched Friends. I don't know where that came from, but you've watched Friends.
You cannot be genetically linked to your daughter and not at least have seen one episode of Friends.
And unfortunately, there's no denying I'm his. We share the gigantic ears. which don't look so gigantic now that I'm fat, but when I was skinny, my face finally grew into my ears. Isn't that lovely?
Would you quit cracking the damn smart ass comment door and expect me not to freaking kick it in, please?
I'm just opening the door for you to call me fat again because, you know.
Well, I mean,
Wait, he's
at the end of the
serious. You haven't watched Friends? You're officially fired as my father. Go watch Friends, come back and talk to us. At least
but
get through the
but
first.
he loves How I Met Your Mother though.
Everybody loves How I Met Your Mother. That's not the point. Friends
Um,
walked so How I Met Your Mother could sort of run.
I only like 6 seasons of How I Met Your Mother,
Oh, I like the last season. I just hate the
or
last episode.
8 episode, 8 season, 8.18.
The last episode of like the finale of How I Met Your Mother was like finding out my favorite love song was written about a sandwich. That's how it made me feel. Shit. Bullshit. 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 Bullshit.
Yeah. So for those of you who were here with us last week, and there are lots of people who enjoyed our 30th anniversary tribute to the iconic TV show that is The Friends. We will not be going down that freaking road with How I Met Your Mother because
We could do an overall episode of How I Met Your Mother if we wanted to. It could just be like an extended, maybe 2 hour, 2.5 hours if people wanted to listen that long, or we could break it into two parts. But no, we are not doing How I Met Your Mother season by season. Challenge not accepted.
no. And at the end of the day, that would be something that I might be willing to do, not season by season, but an overall view of How I Met Your Mother once a certain co-host returns from witness protection that was forced upon him by your father.
Yeah. I know he's here in the comments like he didn't try to disappear someone. But hey, that's okay. The movie we're covering today covers a gangland massacre, so he'll relate with knowing how to get rid of people.
So, evidently, 7 minutes and 39 seconds into the show, welcome to An Evening at the Movies, everybody's favorite movie based podcast. Definitely back to the original format of movie based podcast, where we eat the stale popcorn, we drink the watered down sodas, we talk about all of our favorite movies and why we love them. And everybody's favorite co host is back with us. Say hello, everybody's favorite co host.
Hello, everybody's favorite co-host, and happy Pride Month. Let your rainbow flag fly. Y'all means all. Ready for all the conservatives to be wildly uncomfortable this entire month. So I will be posting my Pride stuff every single day, and shout out to our LGBTQ plus friends. Sorry, y'all, that's such a mouthful. That's what
Uh,
she said.
no
Um,
disrespect intended. I try and not spit that anagram out because I'm always afraid that I'm going to miss one of the damn letters, and I'm not trying to offend anybody. So,
yeah. Well, we love you. If you're here, welcome. You are safe with us, and we appreciate you. And happy Pride Month. Flaunt it if you got it. And even though we're not celebrating Pride Month for this month's movie selection, I feel like today's movie is the best movie to kick off Pride Month, and as far as classic movies. So we chose a good one to
and
kick off.
by the way, in honor of everybody's favorite network member Havandre,
How to
I
Andre.
legitimately
Ah.
have the stale popcorn.
Oh, I
Just
should
saying.
have brought some up here. Okay, so real quick, so I like fresh popcorn, obviously, but also I just sometimes like to just munch on it, and I get skinny pop, but it's just kind of like meh. AMC sells, I mean, it's AMC name, but it's a AMC branded popcorn in bags that you can get at the store.
Mhm.
So I get it at Kroger. You pop it, you like pour a bowl, pop it in the microwave for like 15 seconds, and it's really freaking good. Like it's not movie theater popcorn. Nothing is except movie theater popcorn, but It's pretty
I
good. I eat the shit out of that stuff.
legitimately, you
I
eat
go
the
through the
shit out of
bag a week.
you
What?
eat the shit out of popcorn.
If popcorn has shit, then yeah, I guess I'm eating it.
Uh, uh,
I feel like when it
uh,
pops, there's some level of excrement, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
I had to make that joke considering just the other day I actually got to watch the
Eat
full
shit?
extended trailer of Happy Gilmore 2.
Ah.
Um, yes, the joke does make rear its ugly head in the sequel. As long as it's not one of those trailer moments where, haha, we're going to give it to you in the trailer, but you know what? It didn't make the final cut.
Now I'm just thinking of Billy Madison. He called the shit poop. I I am a little
Damn.
nervous to watch Happy Gilmore 2, not gonna lie, just because Happy Gilmore is such like a very favorite movie of mine that is so classic and quotable and amazing, and I feel like it just can't be improved upon. So I'm really nervous. It's kind of like when they did Coming to America. I didn't want to watch that shit either, and part of me wishes I hadn't, because Coming to
Well,
America was not something you should have tried to improve upon. But
you were here with me last summer
yeah,
when Axel Foley came out
ugh,
because you know how much I love
yeah,
Beverly Hills Cop. Um, I have been nervous about that movie for years because it's been in development
yeah,
and all of that, and then COVID hit and delayed everything, and then it finally got finished, and there was still like a good year and a half before Netflix finally decided to release it,
yeah.
and it wasn't as bad as some people,
It
DeAndre
wasn't.
Robinson, will want you to believe it is.
I didn't hate it. I wouldn't watch it again. Like I wouldn't choose to watch it again. I wouldn't be like, hey, let's watch a movie tonight. Let's watch, Axel F or whatever. But I didn't hate it. George and I watched it. We had some laughs. We were like, okay, this wasn't too bad, but it's not a movie I would seek out. Coming to America, I was like, yeah.
No.
So anyway, we are here to actually discuss a movie for Classic Cinema Month.
Yeah, because it is
Slash
Classic
Pride
Cinema
Month.
Month. It is the kickoff of Classic Cinema Month. We've got all kinds of classic moments lined up for you for the next month.
I'm excited.
Pop Papa Palpatine will be back with us here in a couple weeks. Um, we're going to look at some Universal Monster movie at the end of the month before we transition into Summerween. But
Yeah.
we'll
So
get to
stoked for that.
we will get to the schedule at the end of the episode, though. I mean, we're already 13 and a half minutes into this, and we haven't even technically, I don't even think, said the name
We
of the
haven't.
movie yet. So, you know, we will be kicking off Classic Hollywood Month with a discussion on an iconic Marilyn Monroe movie, and we will be talking about Some Like It Hot.
Whoop whoop.
Reference to your dad's joke from the beginning of the show.
It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
Do not take off all your clothes. If you're watching in the YouTube land or on Twitter or Facebook, feel free. Just if you're on camera on this show, do not take off all your clothes.
Yeah, if you're out there and you feel like watching in the nude, do that. But if anything else is happening over there, please keep that to yourselves. Um. Okay,
Yeah,
so
if there's nakedness and peanut butter and all of that,
it's okay because it's your
we
dog.
don't need to know.
I love that movie too. Okay, sorry. Um,
Ah,
I know we're gonna get into it, but like, I'm
oh,
glad
we're
that we
gonna get
picked
into
this
it.
movie. And I'm glad I picked Classic Movie Month. I
Spoiler alert: Amanda is the one responsible for this theme and next month's theme too. But
Hey, I've been responsible for a lot of the themes, and I think we've done pretty well.
Oh
Summerween
yeah.
is like I'm glad we're doing, but we don't do. We've done some classics, like as far as Well, never mind. It doesn't matter. This movie is definitely like a very classic comedy, and in fact, on the original AFI Top 100 movies list, it ranked number 14. On AF, and then on the 10th anniversary of it, it ranked somewhere in the 20s. I think I didn't write that down. On the AFI Best American Comedies of All Time, it ranked number one. So, and it holds up. I mean, there's a few things here and there that are a little problematic. I don't think there's anything that's just wildly crazy. For the most part, this movie still holds up. So I'm excited to
Which
talk about it.
from the little bit that I read while finishing my rewatch, literally about an hour ago,
Me too.
that was one of the things that a couple internet speculators said as to why over the course of time the movie may have slipped a little bit down the rankings is
Yeah.
some of the problematic aspects of the movie, which I get.
But it's 1959. Nothing from that era is going to age 100% well.
Oh God, no!
So,
Especially the way women are treated in this movie.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, to me that's the biggest problematic thing, other than a few unsavory racial comments, and there's only like one or two, but it's like not excusing it obviously, but it's the way people talked then, and now that wouldn't fly, which is good, but it,
Unless you live at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
well, yeah, or yeah. I know. I even hate saying no, well, that wouldn't fly in today's society. Every fucking thing flies now because the top person in the land has made it okay to say whatever pops into your fucking head and insult whoever you want. Like it's just doesn't help when the bar is set that low from the highest supposed person. So, but yeah, the commentary that is like a little problematic is very few and far between. So, as far as movies from the golden age of cinema and all that, I feel like this has aged pretty well in comparison.
No, and I mean we'll get to it here in a minute where um, we will rip the band-aid off and allow everybody's favorite co-hostess with the mostest to let the listeners know what this movie is about in case you do not know. And if you do not know, at the end of the day, shame on you because, like she was saying a minute ago, this is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Definitely.
Not just genre-wise, or I mean, this is legitimately. It may not necessarily make my top five for greatest movies of all time, but
Yeah.
if I was to put together, say, like a top 25 or 30 list, this would probably be one of those movies that I was fighting over mentally whether or not, its position in a
Yeah.
certain section of that list. So,
Well, and objectively and subjectively, this movie is really good. It's not like, the original AFI list has Citizen Kane as their number one movie of all time. Have you ever tried to sit through Citizen Kane? It's not good. But objectively, it's like this great cinematic masterpiece. And so I can appreciate parts of it. And it's like one of those movies everyone should see, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. But most people nowadays are not going to like Citizen Kane. So I feel like, I mean, the comedy isn't for everyone in this, but I feel like most people could laugh at this movie. So it's
yeah,
really funny.
it really is.
Like
And
I laughed a lot rewatching it, and I've seen it a lot of times, but it's been a few years, I guess, since I've sat down and watched it, and I laughed a lot. So
so, a little bit of brief history, though, when it came to Amanda suggesting classic cinema. Um, she did recommend um, we kind of sort of spread it out over, a handful of topics because it
Mhm.
very easily, if you go, research, say, the top 10 greatest movies of all time, there's, you know, movies like The Wizard of Oz are going to pop up again. And it's like, we've already discussed The Wizard of Oz
Right,
multiple times. And other movies Psycho could pop up again. And,
which we've
you know,
already done.
not that we don't want to, you know, revisit some of these movies, but at the same time, it's like there's other great movies that we need to focus on too. And I feel like, and I don't know what Amanda's opinion is on this, but if we had just gone with a generic um, classic cinema, I'm not 100% sure that Marilyn Monroe movies would have even gotten a whole lot of consideration when putting the schedule together.
Oh, I don't know. I disagree, but that's also because I wanted specifically to do a Maryland movie. But I mean, Some Like It Hot is not maybe the first thing people think of, but it is still a very well known
It wasn't the
classic
first thing.
movie. So, but like I did say, I really wanted to cover a Maryland movie, and I think I suggested this one, Niagara, and 7 Year Itch, and I think you said Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. All great movies. Niagara happens to be my favorite movie of hers. It's a thriller, which I really like because she has a lot more comedies because they definitely made her play up the bombshell bimbo thing. Like, fine, whatever. But you also have to remember people churned out movies like nothing in this time period. Like, if you were to look at Marilyn Monroe's filmography, I don't know how many movies she's been in, but I guarantee you the number's not under 50 because that's how
Well,
movies were made back then. It was just like
well,
one
yeah,
after
because
another after another.
that's one of those things like with Judy Garland,
Right.
I believe it came up
Frank
when
Sinatra and
we initially did Wizard of Oz. But for those of you who don't know, like Judy Garland's actual on screen career is not a very freaking long one, but
yeah.
yet her filmography is a long list of
Yeah.
movies. But a lot of that is due to the fact that the studio, for lack of a better metaphor, poured her out
Yeah.
and forced her to do shit that shouldn't have been feasible to do in this day. Well, wouldn't be feasible to do in this day and age because
Well, it's because
SAG
they
had freaking
coked her
shut,
up. Like, you wonder why
SAG
everybody
had
was
shut
on
that shit down.
drugs. Everybody was on drugs because they had to be to keep to these schedules. And then, I will get into this behind the scenes stuff about this. And, it's no
Mhm.
secret that in Hollywood, Marilyn was known to be hard to work with, as was Judy Garland. Well, it's because they're churning out 5 or 6 movies a year and they have to be on uppers to stay awake and downers to get some rest so they don't go crazy. Like the cycle just goes and goes and goes.
So your dad threw out there that studio actors,
Yeah.
Mickey Rooney had a good book on those times. Again, Mickey Rooney,
Yeah.
another young star from that obviously era, but Wizard of Oz as well, worked with Judy Garland. So, but
Find the name of it. I'd like to
Mickey,
read it.
exactly. Maybe your dad can. Well,
That's who I was talking to. He can Google while we talk. He's tech savvy.
well, at least one of our parents is.
Yeah.
Love my mom to death. Not very tech savvy. So, all right. Um,
Are we ready
so
for the game?
I'm ready. Well, just
Oh, I
about.
guess you have to do your little intro to the what? Yeah, go ahead.
So, Some Like It Hot released on April 8th, 1959. Was directed by Billy Wilder. Was released by United Artists. Had a budget of $2.9 million. And
Wow.
yeah,
But I know what part of that budget went to. We're going to talk about it.
and considering this is 1959, it made uh, $49 million at the box office.
And that's
So,
amazing because it had some pushback, but audiences loved it. But
well,
it was
that, and you also have to remember too, ticket prices in 1959 were not $10 a freaking seat, $12 a seat,
right.
whatever people are paying nowadays.
Yeah.
Life is
And
too short. I have the book. I can bring it to you.
oh, okay. Um and the thing is this movie like audiences did love it, but it had a lot of pushback. Like the National Legion of Decency, which is like this big Catholic organization,
Hmm.
like called it morally objectionable. It's promoting homosexuality and lesbians and transvestism. It was banned in some places. It was banned in Kansas because United Artists wouldn't edit out the love scene with Marilyn Monroe and Tony Curtis. Um, some places made it adult only. Like it had a decent amount of pushback, and I don't mean this in
Hmm.
the way it sounds, but for good reason. This good reason in that this movie was very progressive at that time.
True.
You didn't see a lot of movies with people in drag at that time. I mean, let's just put it out there.
No. So, and um, it is not available for free streaming anywhere
That's not true.
unless you have Prime.
Well, okay, but it's free on Prime. So if you have Prime, it is available for free. And then Casey didn't
Blah blah
know
blah.
that, so he had to watch it with ads on Tubi.
For only like half the movie.
Yeah,
The
true.
last half I watched with no ads on Prime.
He messaged me. He's like, "Damn Tubi ads." I was like, "Bro, this movie's on Prime." Uh,
Spoiler alert: the next couple movies we've got coming up. Well, no, the Disney movies are on Disney Plus.
yeah,
The rest of the movies for the month aren't.
yeah. Wolfman, as I checked the other day, is not available for free. You have to pay for it. Um, and what's the other movies we're doing besides the Disney ones? Am I missing
Uh,
one?
no, Mary Poppins and Robin
Okay,
Hood.
okay.
So,
How did we miss doing another Hitchcock movie? That's okay. We've covered like 3 Hitchcock movies. We're good.
mm, maybe about time to get back to a Hitchcock because there's,
I'd love to do Rear Window.
well,
I just love Jimmy Stewart. Mr. Smith goes
I
to Washington. We should have done Mr. Smith goes to Washington. Ugh, there's too many good classic movies, and I know we don't want to push the envelope because not everybody is appreciative of older movies. Like for me, black and white movies are comforting, and like just older movies, I like them. And but some like it hot. I feel like if you haven't seen this movie, yeah, we're gonna spoil it for you, but it doesn't matter. You can still go watch it, and if you do not laugh, you can message me personally and rip me a new one. If you don't laugh at least once, you don't have a soul. So, but you can send all
yeah.
hate mail to Amanda Kohlhofer on Facebook. I will take it.
The previous message was provided. Never mind. We won't go down that road. But I have Rotten Tomato scores
Okay.
for this movie.
I'm ready to be
Did you
whorish.
did you cheat and look it up before we got to this segment?
No, I never do that.
Lately,
Um, huh?
I said lately.
What do you mean lately? If I see them, I tell you.
True.
Because sometimes
Um,
Googling stuff, it does pop up, and then I'm like, okay, well, you know.
yeah. Generally, whenever you Google a movie title, That's one of the first things that pops up is the tomato meter score.
Well, I know where it pops up, so I just don't look at that area because it usually pops up on the right-hand side of the screen. Like if you Google it, I've Googled enough movies to know what happens when you do that. So I just don't look over there. Look over here.
Well, I mean, we're
Look up here.
ra-
Look up here.
rapidly approaching what 300 episodes of the show.
Yeah.
It's not like movie googling is a foreign concept to us. So,
Nothing with my 3
but
meters joke. All right.
I
It's
believe
fine.
the phrase you're looking for is anyway.
Okay. So
I have tomato meter and popcorn meter.
I'm going to go with the tomato meter first because I think critics that would be reviewing this now won't have really bad things to say about it. And it's such a beloved movie. I'm going to go with 91%. Yes, I am whoring it out for this movie. Tomato meter, I'm going to go a tad lower only because I just don't. It's hard to know what people who are on Rotten Tomatoes appreciate as fine cinema, but I'm gonna go 86% for the tomato meter.
And you were low on both scores.
Ooh, really? Nice. That makes me happy.
On 74 reviews on the tomato meter, this movie got a 95%.
Nice.
Um, on the popcorn meter, with 50,000 plus reviews,
Oh, nice.
this movie got a 94%.
Whoa. Way to go, Rotten Tomato people. I'm impressed.
First time in quite some time that Rotten Tomatoes legitimately got the scores right,
Yeah,
both
definitely.
scores. So
Those are valid
um,
scores.
I think they are too. And 300.
He's saying 300 episodes. Wahoo.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
because
lot.
wasn't paying attention when the comments popped up. So um, my bad.
You don't remember what you said 30 seconds ago?
No, I'm rapidly approaching 48 and a half years old. So I don't want to hear it.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'm with you. And again, I'm gonna keep talking about it. Perimenopause is kicking my ass with the memory issues. It's real bad. I'm gonna keep blaming it on that and hoping I'm not getting Alzheimer's, since it runs in the family. But um
Okay.
yeah, the perimenopause is not good for the brain cells. Okay.
Speaking of Alzheimer's, um, my mother watched The Notebook for the first time ever
Oh my god.
the other day.
You really should have prefaced that better, but okay. I was like,
You knew it.
Alzheimer's, my mom, like, what? We're doing a show here, bro. uh, did she cry? Did you give her
Bite me.
tissues like I told you to? He goes, Mom's watching it. She's never seen it. And I was like, make sure she has tissues. And he was like, that's not my problem. Like, dude, be a good fucking son and make sure there's some
And
nearby.
what?
Just put them in her general direction because she's going to need them.
Nope. None
To
at
that movie that Chancey didn't want to
all.
watch so bad that dad sent him into witness protection early.
Exactly. So,
Okay. So, some like it
also,
hot.
before the co host does her review really quick, just a little bit more background information. This movie is actually one of the first 25 movies that the National Film Registry inducted into its Library of Congress for being
What is it? Oh, I know exactly what you're gonna say. I keep forgetting the phrase.
exactly. That's why I'm pulling it back up again and looking so that I don't misquote.
We should have that memorized by now as
For
many
being
times.
called. Well, yeah, because the film registry is so long and deep at this point, like my job
That's
said.
what she said.
Um, so in 1989, the Library of Congress selected it as one of the first 25 films for preservation in the U.S. National Film Registry for being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant.
That's it. Significant is the word I was looking for, and I couldn't get it. I just couldn't. But yeah,
I
it
got
definitely
the
is.
historically and the aesthetically. I couldn't remember the other one.
Oh, Miss
Movie
movie. Damn it. Misty's here. That's what she said. Yeah.
miss.
Well, whatever. Her name's right there, so I'm gonna say it. Okay. Thanks for watching, girl. Now we got 2 commentators. This is gonna be good. All right. So, some like it hot.
Something like a hot.
After witnessing a mafia murder, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, slick saxophone player Joe and his long suffering buddy Jerry improvise a quick plan to escape from Chicago with their lives. Disguising themselves as women, they join an all female jazz band and hop a train bound for Florida. While Joe pretends to be a millionaire to win the band's sexy singer, Sugar, Jerry finds himself pursued by a real millionaire as things heat up and mobsters close in. Say my name, say my
And
name. Sorry, Misty said I could say her name, and so now I had to, yeah. No one is around you. Say, baby. Oh, make it stop. Okay. All right. So this movie, like, comes in hot from the get go, and I love it. I, I try to imagine being a person in 1959 in the era of like Eisenhower conformity. That's what we're in right now. Eisenhower, American values. We want everybody to be the same. Suburbia is the thing. And you go into this movie, you think you're watching this period piece about, 1920s prohibition and mobsters and whatever. And it comes hot out the gate with like this, car chases and Tommy guns and liquor in the coffin. Like, great way to sneak booze. What was that called? Bootlegging. Thank you. Oh my god. Yes, and thanking myself for thinking of the word I was trying to think of. Um. So yeah, I mean, it really starts off strong. But I wonder what it would be like to go into the theater and watch this, and then it takes a while to get to it, but then you get to guys in drag pretending to be girls, literally to save their own lives, which is one of the things I appreciate about this movie is that, like, the Gangland Massacre ties into the comedy. Like, that's really clever to me. Like, they're on the lam, they're on the run for their lives, and it's like this stuff was serious, but also now it's part of the comedy because I think otherwise it's not believable. Like, why would these 2 guys really pretend to be women if their lives weren't in danger? So I think there had to be that threat of, life ending. Like, there had to be this real credible threat. Otherwise, I don't think guys in that time, like, it wouldn't be believable, in my
so,
opinion.
um, along the lines with what Amanda was just saying, though, this movie, being one of the greatest movies of all time, has a long list of award nominations and award wins. And one of the main ones that it was nominated for was Best Screenplay at the Academy Awards for best screenplay.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean, yes, granted, it's best screenplay based on material from another medium, but still, it just speaks to even back then, you didn't get nominated for that award unless it was a well crafted, you know, for lack of a better term, Star Wars and its dialogue was not getting nominated for best screenplay anytime soon, whether
Right.
it was 1959 or 2025. So,
The dialogue in this movie is top notch. Like, it's
oh,
so
really?
witty. The comedy is so quick, and the actors really know where the joke is supposed to be. Like, I read this quote that Billy Wilder had called Marilyn Monroe, she had elegant vulgarity. Now, in today's society, she would not be considered vulgar, but and I don't know, I mean, I feel like that's a backhanded compliment, but it still is kind of true. Like, she in every movie I've seen of hers, she knows what the joke is supposed to be, even if it's at her expense, and she embraces it, and she's quick on her feet with it. Like,
So,
it's just awesome.
I'm not 100% sure about that vulgarity comment because, again, one of the things I love about watching movies on Prime is the fact that you can scroll over the screen and it get the little trivia tidbits to pop up.
See, I need to watch something on my computer so I can do that because you can't. Well, I don't know if you can do that on your TV. I haven't tried it. I keep
TV,
forgetting about it. That's really cool, though.
I don't know about TV. I know you can on your phone and on your laptop,
Okay.
but um, there was one that popped up during my rewatch that brought up the fact that the award-winning costume designer, um,
Is
Ora
it
Kelly,
Aura? Yeah, yeah. I knew it was
Ori
Kelly. I
Kelly,
can remember. Yeah.
um, was fitting the three stars of the movie for dresses,
I wanted to tell this story, but you do it. It's a
and
great story. Sorry.
and she made the comment while measuring Marilyn Monroe for a dress that Tony Curtis had a better ass than she did
Because she had just measured Tony.
because she had just measured Tony Curtis for his dress. Um, Marilyn Monroe's response was she ripped her blouse open and said, "He doesn't have tits like these, though."
Yeah. And I can totally picture that, and I think it's amazing. But obviously, in the 50s, that's considered vulgar and slutty and whorish and whatever. And like all those people can go fuck themselves. But so, even though right now it doesn't feel like a compliment or it feels like a backhanded compliment, I think at the time Billy Wilder was trying to give her a compliment. Um, which I don't know what the facts on Prime said, but if you've read anything about the movie, I already knew that story because I had read some
Mhm.
stuff, and there was definitely some shit behind the scenes. Billy Wilder had a hard time with her, again, because she would be late and forget her lines, and they'd have to do like 20 takes to get one sentence out of her. Like that line where she comes in and after she's just been dumped, quote unquote, and she's like, "Where's the bourbon?" And so they had to film that like 20 times just to get one take that was good. Like, so I get it's all very complicated because of what was going on with her. And you have to think about with that Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis have to be on every single take because they're going to use the one where Marilyn's perfect. They're not going to use the one like if
Yeah,
Jack and Tony don't bring it, they're always going to use the best one of Marilyn because she's
yeah.
the sex appeal. So there it was very volatile, semi-volatile, and I get that. Um and Billy Wilder actually had a lot of shitty things to say about her after that because
Well,
I think 7 Year Itch was before this movie, which he also did.
mhm.
And I remember reading a story that she told him to go fuck himself in an interview, and then she was dead soon after. So
So another thing that also I got off of Prime while watching the movie was the fact that the resort scenes in this movie were filmed at a rented resort by the studio in San Diego, so that literally they could lock the cast away. In particular, the blonde bombshell,
Yeah.
because of her quote unquote demons. That way,
Keep an
they
eye on
were
her.
more likely to be able to keep an eye on her and less likely to be late or whatever the case may be. So, you know,
Yeah. And it just sucks, because it's like when she's on, she's amazing, but when she's not, it's like but she's also it's just a vicious circle. Like, we've talked about this. We talked about it with Judy Garland too, but um talking about the costume designer, and we were talking about the budget. I don't know if this popped up on your thing, but that's one of the things I read was that Jack and Tony insisted on designer dresses like what Marilyn had. Like they were trying to get them like off the rack stuff, and they're like, no, if we're going to be believable as women, we want the designer dresses too. Like we want to look good. We don't want to be wearing trashy clothing, and I applaud them for that. I mean, they're going way out of their comfort zone, you know, especially in that time period, having to pretend to be women. I don't blame them for wanting to look classy. I would too.
no. Well, and Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon are some of the greatest, most respected actors of all time.
Right.
You
But
know,
Jack Lemmon was just an up and comer when this came out, and he was
yeah,
amazing. He was so good.
yeah. This is definitely young Jack Lemmon, and I've seen some stuff from young in his early in his career. This, The Odd Couple, Mr. Roberts, blah blah blah. I mean,
I love The Odd Couple.
I don't, I don't think I can. I don't think I've seen, and I'm not saying I've seen everything Jack Lemmon's ever done, but I don't think I've
I
seen
haven't, but
a bad Jack Lemmon performance.
yeah, me either.
There's a reason why when I believe it was AFI ranked the greatest actors of all time, that he was ranked as high as he is on that list. I believe it was like 25, I think, and
See
that's
that?
an all-time list. So that, you know, is throwing into consideration a lot of people, you know, as well. So that just speaks volumes as to the level of talent that you have when talking about just him alone. But then on top of it, Janet Leigh's baby daddy,
Hmm. Tony Curtis was so sexy. And like I said to you
so
earlier, you can definitely see by the way that he carries himself, like it's very much the same way Jamie Lee carries herself. Like I use the word
yeah.
stature, but I don't really mean it like I don't know how to explain what I mean, but you can just see the way he like kind of I guess exudes confidence. Like her in real life, like that's how she is too. Like she's just very like I don't know, they just have the same sort of air about them. Like you can see where she gets it.
So along that same line though, and just because, you know, for point of reference, you go look at her presence in even like 1978 when she came debuted in Halloween. She still has that, for lack of a better term, Tony Curtis presence about her whenever she's on screen.
I think later in the movie she does. I think at the beginning she's so meek that it's kind of like you don't get that, but you get it in real life the way she does interviews and the way she just, I don't know. it's the confidence, I guess. They both really exude the same confidence, which I think is cool. Um,
I've definitely seen a lot of interviews that she's done the last probably couple weeks, but that woman definitely has zero fucks to give anymore at this point in her life.
I don't blame her. I wouldn't either.
Not saying she ever did, but definitely in I would say the 2018 till now era, she definitely literally has zero fucks to give and has no qualms about ripping that bandit up. And you mean that sound?
Silencio your phone. You're cutting out too, but um, was there anything about the movie that like really surprised you other than gas being 40 cents? Being able to get more than 1 gallon of gas for 40 cents. I was like, what?
Right.
He's like, put 40 cents of gas in the car. I'm like, and that's going to get you a
I
100
mean,
miles?
even when we were kids and just starting to drive, gas was not that cheap, but it was a lot cheaper than what it is now.
Yeah, when I started driving, gas was 78 cents a gallon. Ugh, those were the days.
So that'd have been about the same time, give or take a year or two. So we're all in that same window.
Yeah. Um,
So surprising about the movie? No, I don't think anything really jumped out as being, oh my god, surprising. Um, like you have seen the movie several times, so I wasn't really coming into it um, unaware. But no, I mean, it really nothing really shocked me though. I just maybe if I had to pick something out of the clear blue sky, the fact that it started out as quick as it did,
yeah.
maybe that could be labeled as surprising
Yeah, it
because
came in hot.
there's not a whole yeah, they really don't give you a whole lot of exposition in the first few
Right.
minutes of the movie. They drop you right into that, you know, rising action of, you know, here's what's going on, and we're going to build immediately to what ultimately the story is.
Yeah.
But no, which I, in a way, I kind of appreciate because, again, that's one of those things I know we brought up before, and probably won't be the last time we bring it up. But being Stephen King fans, we've read enough King books or seen enough King movies that sometimes the exposition in a King story can drag on and on and on for a hot minute
A little bit.
when you're ready for the story to actually get going.
Yeah.
So,
I will
top
say,
5 Stephen King movies that drag on forever in the beginning.
the new book, Never Flinch, is it pretty much it comes in hot too. Like maybe not in the first 20 pages, but it's already you're getting what the story is going to be very, very early in the book. And I mean, in the first, I think 40 pages, there's a moment where I audibly gasped, and George like is what's the matter with you? And I was like, if I was watching this on TV, I would have like went like like, or I would have like screamed like, what the fuck? So maybe he's, the Holly books tend to be a little more like that too. But
Yeah, I was
so
gonna
far this
say
one's
that's
dragging me down.
for the fans out there that don't necessarily know. The new book is part of the Holly series,
Yeah,
so you're already deep into the Holly world,
yeah,
so you don't have to waste a whole lot of time. You can just kind of bam,
yeah.
here's a story. Let's get going.
I'm about 100 pages in, and I will say I do not feel bogged down at all. And a lot of King, unfortunately, does really just inundate you with information and backstory and stuff that a lot of times feels unnecessary. And I know it's not. Like, he's a master. Like, I am not going to knock him for any of that. But some of his books are hard to read because of that. And just because you haven't started it yet, I'm just letting you know this one's not. This one is like quickly paced. It's a quick read, and it's very interesting so far. I haven't found anything to complain about yet. And you know me, I like to
Which I
complain.
appreciate, and
But
I
anyway,
oh yes, she does. Um,
so
so with if there wasn't anything that really surprised you about the movie, was there something about the movie that you didn't particularly care for?
I mean, so the only thing I was gonna say that I thought was a little surprising given the time was some of Marilyn's wardrobe, specifically when she's performing. I think it's gorgeous, but the dresses they have her wearing where, you've got the mesh, like the clear whatever on top, but it's literally like only the jewels are like covering her nipples and then everything else is exposed. And if you don't know that mesh is there, it's like, what the hell is she wearing? I thought that was pretty. I think it's gorgeous. I was
Mhm.
just kind of shocked that at that time they were, and I mean it's Maryland, I get it, but I felt like that was, I sound so prudish and I'm not trying to. I just thought for that time period in film that was showing a lot of skin. Um Other than that, I mean, not really, I think there wasn't really anything I didn't like. The only thing I found super unrealistic was the scene where they all go swimming in the ocean. I don't feel like Daphne would have been able to hide his manhood, even in those like the kind of swimsuits they're wearing. I get it, but I was like, how's he going to hide his chest hair? Okay, well, the thing went up basically to the neck. Okay, but you can see these broad shoulders and arms. And she even comments on it. And it's like,
Yeah,
how does nobody think this is a guy? Like, they already have the strong facial features that if I didn't know they were guys, I would still think they are guys or
the Adam's
trans.
apple.
Yeah, but like the swimsuit, like you can't really hide your junk. So I thought that was a little. I mean, it's not supposed to be
Well, yeah,
realistic. I
if the
get it. But
water's cold enough.
I mean, I guess. We don't know what that
I
says
mean,
about Jack Lemmon, but okay.
I don't know what the water's like in Miami, but you know, if it's cold enough, I
It's pretty
guess
warm.
you know, turn into a mangina.
What's interesting is that the water in Florida is always pretty warm, but they filmed it in San Diego and that water would be cold. So
True.
I guess they did the right thing. The only other thing I
So
didn't
yeah,
like,
there is
and
that.
yeah, I didn't like this, and again, it's a the way things were back then kind of thing, but the movie is very misogynistic, and the fact that Joe is, or as Josephine or whatever, and then as what is his name supposed to be? Tony Curtis playing three characters is iconic. Let's just put that out there. But he's like making her beg for it, like, oh, you're kissing me. That
Mhm.
didn't do anything for me. No, that didn't do anything for me. Like, I hate how objectified Marilyn was in all of her movies. Um, but that's just the way it was. But officially, I'm offended by it. So, what does my dad say? I think it was more a play on men in dresses like the Sisters song in White Christmas. Sisters, sisters. I love that song. Yeah, I could see that
Uh,
too. Um, Other than that, there's nothing I don't like about this movie. I mean, other than the blatant misogyny, the bellboy going, "Oh, don't worry about giving me a key. I have a key card." Fucker, you weren't invited to my room. Go away. And like the pinching of the butt,
Yeah.
like it's just ugh. But that's just how women were treated then, and so you have to take it with a grain of salt. And luckily, Jerry slash
No, and
Daphne held her own with Mr. Fielding.
well, no, and that
Like he fell in love with him.
that's where I guess some of the inappropriateness of the humor comes from, though, is the fact that that these two characters in drag are being and it's not just these characters. The other women in the movie are treated poorly as well, but
Right.
the fact that Josephine and Daphne are, you know, Daphne's being accosted by the guy in the elevator pinching his slash her butt
Like
and trying
immediately.
to
Like
make out with
I don't get it.
yeah you know
Um,
therein lies what's supposed to be the humor of the situation, and if you're uberly sensitive to that kind of humor, yeah, it might not go off the way it's supposed to go off, but at the same time, if you come in with an open mind and just want to be entertained and laugh,
yeah.
it's hilarious. The irony is off the chart.
And you do get a little acknowledgement of it, which I appreciate. Like when Daphne and Mr. Fielding, he pinches her, does whatever, and he turns around, he's just like
Hmm.
fresh. And then later, when it happens again, or something happens, and Josephine's like, now we can see how the other half lives. So they at least address it a little, even though in those times it was
Yeah.
perfectly acceptable for men to treat women like that. It was kind of nice to see that flipped on its head and for men to see how women were treated. And I liked that. Dad says, LOL, he
Yeah.
had to be drunk. Who had to be drunk? All of them?
I think
Probably.
again, probably one of those moments where um, I wasn't paying attention to the comments popping up, so it was
Oh,
probably in
okay.
reference to something
No, that just
3 or 4 minutes ago.
I see them as soon as they pop up. That just popped up. But was there anything you didn't like?
Not really. I mean, like I said a moment ago, this is one of those movies that don't come into it and sit down and expect to be, have a relevant cultural, social opinion and all that kind of stuff. It's this is just a movie to be entertained and laugh at
Yeah.
and all of that. And if you can do that, it's a great, entertaining, hilarious, incredible movie.
Yeah. And some of the jokes are very like on the nose or they're very obvious or like quote unquote dad jokes, but I still think they're funny. And like some of the stuff is so witty that you don't like catch it, like when Joe's talking about I can't remember what led up to it. He's talking about his blood typing. He's like, I'm type O, and the girl's like, oh, like that happens so fast you could almost miss it. That reminded me of
Yeah.
Clue. That felt like a very Clue moment where it happened so fast you could miss it, but if you catch it, it's funny. Like you have to giggle. Um, and
26 years before Clue came out.
yeah. I don't know, there was some pretty good quotes. Like, okay, so I love the scene where first of all, can we talk about Spats Columbo? I don't know if you saw in our chat,
Well,
I called him Spuds McKenzie. Like
I
Spats
did see that.
Columbo, what kind of name is that? I was like, uh-oh, here comes Spuds McKenzie. um but they're at that opera appreciation, whatever, and that head opera guy, he was over dramatic as fuck. I loved him. Um, First of all, I can't believe Spats and his crew fell for the old Tommy gun and a cake bit, but they all get killed. The cop guy comes in and he's
Well,
like,
that don't like they're like, ooh, we got you a birthday cake, and he's like, but it's not even my birthday.
how did he not? My birthday's in 4 months. Dude, get the fuck out of there. What are you doing?
Like,
I
okay,
do not know what they're about to do to you.
you're quote unquote involved with the mob, and somebody openly, kicks open the metaphorical door and be like, ooh, we got you a birthday cake. Wait, my birthday is not for freaking
Yeah,
4 months. Hmm. I wonder what is going on. Leave the gun and
exactly.
take the cannoli, you stupid ass.
Yeah, yeah, whatever. But I could believe he fell for that. But I love that the cop comes. And he's like, "What happened here?" And what is his name, Little Bonaparte? He's like, "There was something in the cake that didn't agree with him." And the guy goes, "My compliments to my chef. No compliments to the chef. Nobody leaves till I get the recipe." Like that's just so funny.
Right?
Like I don't know, and like Marilyn talking about the drinking. Oh, I can quit anytime I want to. I just don't want to. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That depending on what kind of person you are, the dialogue is either cheesy or it's funny or it's both, which I think it is, but in a good way. Like when Jerry's like, "Will you look at that? Look how she moves. It's like jello on springs. Must have some sort of built-in motor or something." And then he's like, "I tell you, it's a
I
whole different sex." Like, yeah. Uh
One of like the first things I remember like really wink wink laughing at was like the whole funeral home director being named Mozzarella.
yeah.
I mean,
uh,
obviously now as a semi mature adult, you get okay,
say so.
that's kind of racial or culturally insensitive to
Yeah.
Italian people. But, you know, at the same time, it's like, ooh, that guy's named after a freaking cheese.
And then the speakeasy. I love the speakeasy. I am all about speakeasies. So um I've been to a couple, and obviously they're not really speakeasies because prohibition doesn't exist anymore. But like, I just feel like it would have
Yeah.
been so cool to go to one. Like I went to one in New York City, and it's like you go down these stairs, and you go in this secret door, and it's like you have no idea what you're gonna find, and then you go in, and it's this gloriously beautiful, dark velvet 1920s like club, and I'm just like, oh.
Spoiler alert, a couple weeks ago, your dad got to go to a speakeasy.
I really wanted to go to that, the, Edgar Allan Poe speakeasy. I need to
That's
hear about
He's
that
not
because
the only person in your life
I
that's been to that
know.
speakeasy either.
Chris
Papa
went to,
Palpatine's been.
everybody's talking about it. There's one in New York I wanna go to, and I have a friend that lives there, and I keep telling George, like, next time he goes to
A
New York
friend
for work for,
speakeasy.
like, more than one day. Yes, it is a Taylor-themed speakeasy, and it's the way you get into it is it's like one of those little like convenience store pop-up things. I don't know what they call them. But the door is like a wall full of chips. So it just looks like potato chips for sale. Like you would just go grab a bag of chips, but you have to go find the right bag of chips to get in the door. It looks so cool. I've seen it on TikTok. Like I want to go to that.
That
Anyway,
sounds really cool.
yeah.
So,
So yeah. All right. Oh, one of my other favorite quotes. Sorry, real quick. When what is the name of the guy that he's supposed to be when he's the rich millionaire? Josephine. What is his name supposed to be? It's like completely lost on me. All right, well anyway, they're on the boat and he's talking about how he played water polo and she goes, "Isn't that really dangerous?" And he's like, "Yeah, I had two ponies drown right under me." People that don't know, water polo
Um,
isn't played with horses.
Joe, Josephine, Shell Oil Jr.
Junior, that's what she calls him. Yeah. And then she's like, "How can I forget him? There's a Shell station on every corner." I This is a weird quote, but one of the things she says that I really love the most when she comes back from her date with him is she says it was suicidally beautiful. Like that is just such a poignant like wow.
Mhm.
Anyway, all right. Well, should we do our top fives, or do you have anything else you want to say before we do that in our rankings?
I think we can move into our top fives.
Sweet.
Would you like to go first since it is your month?
Sure. So for my top five, I went with top five drag or gender swap movies. Um, so my honorable mentions before I get into my top five, just one of the guys. That's an '80s movie, and really loved that movie. This girl pretends to be a guy so she can be on the soccer team. I think I can't remember. They made a remake of it with Amanda Bynes, and it was terrible. But just one of the guys was a really good movie. Um,
Isn't that the one with Billy Zabs in it?
yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But yeah, I
Uh,
know which one you're talking about.
and then Freaky, which is Vince Vaughn, and he's a serial killer, and can't remember exactly how, but somehow swaps identities with a high school girl. So the killer's in the high school girl's body, and the girl is in the serial killer's body. That movie is such a good like horror comedy. And then hard not to put in there, but my last honorable mention is Mrs. Doubtfire. Um, so my number five is White Chicks, which this movie I reminds me a lot of. I feel like they took a lot of white chicks from this movie. Number four
Yeah.
is The Birdcage, because I mean, wow, can't not love The Birdcage. Nothing bad to say
Rest in
about
peace,
that.
Gene Hackman.
What?
I said rest in peace, Gene Hackman.
Yeah, and Robin Williams.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Number three, Rocky Horror Picture Show. The drag, fantastic. Mwah, chef's kiss. Number two, Some Like It
Back
Hot.
to the time.
Damn it,
Well,
Janet.
I mean, you can't not have some like a hot as a part of your top five list.
Oh, absolutely. And it was really close with my number one. But I enjoy my number one just a little bit more. So two is Some Like It Hot, and one is To Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. God, I love that movie so much. R.I.P. Patrick Swayze. Did I miss any that you would add?
I mean,
Don't say She's the Man with Amanda Bynes,
no,
or I'll kill you. I'm just kidding.
no, no. Um, yeah, when you told me what your topic was for your top five list, I kind of figured somewhere in your top two or three was going to be Tu Wong Fu.
Oh yeah.
So um, I didn't go as creative with my top five list. Um,
That's okay.
I
Not
went
everybody can be
with
as good as me. Love you, mean it.
I went with top five organized crime films.
I actually thought about that. That's a good one. I'm not mad at that.
The only problem is all five all five of these movies I love so much and for very different reasons. Like legitimately, I have no ranking order for any of these five movies.
Well, then just name them. That's fine. Won't hold you to it.
Number five, no, I'm gonna force myself to do it. It just might take me a second to get there. Number five, we're gonna go with The Untouchables.
Yeah.
Um, Great Al Capone movie. Um, De Niro as Capone. Wow.
I especially love the part where they get him in
Uh,
tax evasion. Just kidding.
Number four, we're gonna go with Casino.
Ooh, good one.
And okay, so mind you, I forgot that this is organized crime movies, not entitled The Godfather,
Yeah, those are
just
too easy.
because
I'm with you on that.
I I I easily could have put my one and two as being Godfather two and Godfather.
Right. Godfather 2
So
reigns supreme. We know this. It's fine.
yeah, so I wanted to give other movies in the genre a little bit more time to shine.
Fair.
Number three, we're gonna go. We're gonna go Scarface with number three. Um,
Say hello to my little friend.
Still one of my most favorite lines delivered in all of movie history.
Yeah.
Um, a movie that I enjoy watching, rewatching, and watching again over and over and over.
Yes, I like it and I've seen it several times, but I feel like it drags on at some points and parts of it are
Oh, it
very tough to watch. I mean,
does.
that fucking chainsaw shower scene, like I have to leave the room.
Yeah,
But
and
it's a good movie.
they don't legitimately, you know, show anything either, but
It's
it's
implied.
very De Palma puts it together. Yeah, like the shark in Jaws.
Right.
Spoiler alert for July. Um,
Yes.
mm, but it's the psychology of filmmaking where you don't have to show everything blatantly for the audience to creep an audience out or gross an audience out or whatever because they
Well,
know
what
exactly
you
what's
can't see is
going
always the
on.
scarier thing. I mean,
Yeah,
and Michelle Pfeiffer's so fucking beautiful in that movie. Oh my god. That might be the movie she is the most beautiful in my opinion. Not that she's not beautiful all the time, but wow.
Ye- yeah. No, I probably would agree with that. My number two is going to be Some Like It Hot,
Oh, okay.
and number one, and again, all five of these movies are so we're talking like razor thin margins in between each and every one of these movies. Um, Number one is Goodfellas,
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of got to be.
but I mean, still at the same time, it's like unless you put Godfather and Godfather Two in the equation, you know, I feel like quality wise, all of those are.
I am surprised that you didn't have The Departed, but yeah, Dad said Goodfellas. He was with you. But I don't blame you because there's so many. I mean, and The Departed's kind of a newer one, but like, there's
Yeah,
Public Enemies and American Gangster. Like there's a lot of newer ones. Black Mass, I think.
yeah,
And you could have gone comedy, like speaking of Michelle Pfeiffer, Married to the Mob. I love that movie. Or
that movie is freaking hilarious.
what is the one with Bruce and Matthew? The oh,
Oh God,
you know what I'm talking about. What is that movie called? Trying to look it up.
yeah, you look it up. Wow.
The whole 9
Um,
yards. There it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a frick. So, um, overall, as a whole, what were what's your opinion of said movie?
I mean, like I said before, I think it's, it's paced very well. The dialogue is very clever. It's witty and funny. Some of the jokes are right on the nose, but some of them are just a little bit more clever, which I appreciate. Um,
Yeah,
I love everything about this movie, and I'm gonna be whorish and give it 5 out of 5 diamond bracelets.
because diamonds are a girl's best friend.
That's exactly
Wrong
right.
movie. Wrong movie. I know, but um, no. I mean, just to echo some of the same points that you had, though. I mean, it's well paced. It's well written, well directed, acted. The costumes are spot on. Everything about this movie is just phenomenal. Um, it's funny. I laugh my ass off every time I watch this movie.
Yeah.
Um, it's just a great movie to put on and be entertained by. And you know, one of the things that, especially the last few years, I've found is if you don't pace a movie correctly, I've found that I can find myself, you know, pulling up the damn clock and looking at, oh, okay, I've got 45 more minutes to go. Oh, I've got 40 more minutes to go. And literally counting down while I'm, you know, focusing on two things.
Or it's you, so you just fall asleep.
Or it's me, so I just fall asleep. And I hate you mean it.
No, I mean this movie is very
But
well paced, so
but
I feel like it
this
doesn't
movie
really
does
drag,
no, it doesn't, and
and it's two
that's the
hours,
point.
which is a lot for 1959. Like, let's be honest.
Oh God, movies back then did not run 2 hours long at all.
Mm.
So, um, yeah, I'm gonna whore out with my ranking as well, and I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5. Um, cellos with gunshot holes in it.
It's a base, actually, but
Bass, cello, same freaking thing.
they're actually not. But okay,
Well, I know they're not, but
they're in the
you
same
know,
family. I'm just giving you shit.
they're in the same family.
Stop it. All right. Well, that was fun. And for
That was.
people watching and listening, if you haven't seen this movie, please go watch it. We spoiled it, but we really didn't. Like there's no big reveal in this movie. There's no big surprise. There's no aha moment. It's just
I don't know.
uh,
Everything that could surprise you is laid out for you each step of the way as the story progresses. It's not like,
yeah. Oh, you know
oh,
what we
I
didn't
didn't
talk.
see that coming. No, you
No.
did. I mean, it's been talked about 2 hours ago. So
You
if you're
see it all
surprised by
coming.
stuff at the
Like,
end,
yeah.
yeah.
This is not a movie you watch to be shocked and awed. It's just a movie you watch to be entertained. But I will say the end, and I read about this too, that they had a really hard time figuring out what line to end the movie with. And they came up with the one they did, and then they went back to think about it and couldn't come up with anything better. And it's very hasty, but I think it's perfect because you've got Daphne um, and slash Jerry and Mr. Fielding. And first of all, it's funny how Daphne is like shaking the maracas and like, we're getting married. And the guy's like, don't you see a problem with that? Well, no. Well, what are you gonna do on your honeymoon? Well, I don't know. We talked about that. Like, it's like he's in love with them, which we didn't go into, and I
Uh-huh.
don't want to now, but I wish we could have somebody who is in the LGBTQ community to come talk about this, because I really, part of me wonders if they meant for Jerry to be low key gay slash bi. and you realize he's saying, well, he's marrying him for the money, but also he seems really happy. Like he comes back from the salsa dancing or the waltzing or whatever, and tango, that's what it was. But anyway, at
Oh,
the end, they're all on the boat, and Sugar and uh Joe are all
Joe.
happy, and he's like, I can't marry you because of this. I can't marry you because of that. And he's just like, that's okay. That's cool. Whatever. He rips up the wig and he's like, I'm a guy. And the line ends with Mr. Fielding going, nobody's perfect. And that's the end of the movie. Like, it's so fucking epic.
Yeah.
Sorry, we didn't talk about that. And I just had to mention it because it's so cute.
No, it
Also,
it is almost the very perfect way to end that movie.
does Mr. Fielding reminded me of William H. Macy. I don't know if you got that. What was the name she kept calling? What was his actual name? I keep calling him Mr. Fielding, but Osgood? Was it Osgood? I can't remember.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah. Anyway, if anybody's watching and wants to send us some comments, anybody that might have insight into that, because part of me low key feels like Jerry is could swing both ways. I wouldn't say Jerry is gay because like just gay because you could tell he was into the girls, but he wasn't mad about Osgood. I'm just saying. And it didn't seem just about the money. He was real upset about that bracelet. And I don't think it was because of the money. And he was
Yeah,
real upset about breaking the guy's heart, too. So, again, with the progressiveness of the movie, I love it. All right.
exactly.
I'm done now. Sorry.
So, uh, again, like every week, we cannot end the damn show without thanking the listeners for being here each and every week. The Unpopped Kernels are incredibly awesome and show up each and every week for us. You guys rock.
You guys
I
rock the
almost went to
most.
my well, thank you for going that way because I was going down the road to my inappropriate joke, and I feel like that probably would not have been a good one to make in the presence of this movie. Um,
You're rock hard.
well,
Wink.
mm, mm,
Let's get,
but
let's rock. Okay, I need to stop.
I mean, at least you're singing and not playing the music, so you end up getting us kicked off of YouTube.
I
But
know.
um,
I've learned our lesson. Ain't nobody gonna take my
guess
singing
what?
as legit copyright infringement, so we're good.
That's true. So thank you guys though for being here for us each and every week. We appreciate it more than words can say. Uh, coming up on an evening at the movie. I mean, we kind of sort of already discussed it, but
Yeah.
um, we've got Robin Hood, Mary Poppins, Wolfman, Goldfinger, James Bond coming up.
That's the one I
The
was
pop-
forgetting, James Bond.
yeah, I knew there was something else that we were forgetting,
Dun,
but
dun, 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 dun. And when he says Robin Hood, he means that sexy Fox cartoon Robin Hood, not Kevin Costner or Gerard Butler
yeah, yeah, yeah,
or Carrie Elwes. Although we really do need to do Robin Hood Men in Tights. Speaking of 1993 movies,
right. Um,
definitely
and
landing in my
then
top 10.
com- coming up in July, we've got Summerween,
Whoop, whoop.
and we've got a whole bunch of network birthday movies coming up as well. Um, certain network members, DeAndre Robinson, fucking with Amanda and making his birthday selection.
You may have to
But
miss me with that one. I don't know. We'll see.
uh, well, I'm sure we'll be missing you with Chances when he comes back as well.
Yeah, but other people will be there, so I don't feel bad. I won't ditch you alone with kids. I'm just gonna have to watch it high, so I'm not so traumatized.
Too hilarious. But we will definitely be letting everybody know when we get closer to said birthday episodes what we've got coming up. You know, Shannon will be back in September for her birthday. We've got Chansey's will be here eventually, give or take. I don't know when exactly, but DeAndre's, Harvey's, we still have to cover Josh and CJ's as well.
Whose birthdays have
So,
already passed. So
yeah, exactly. So, we need to get those scheduled and dropped into the release rotation as well. So, lots of stuff coming up. We'll have a busy summer. We'll have a fun summer. We'll celebrate.
but not a cruel
We'll have
summer.
fun. No, there's definitely no cruel summers.
No being drunk in the back of the
So,
car and crying like a baby coming home from the bar. I don't want
oh
secrets
Jesus!
just to keep you. Sorry. Stop me because
With
I'll go a
with
long time.
all of that said, I'm going to turn the microphone over to my co-host so she can do her thing and put a stop to her shenanigans. So, thank you guys for being here. We will see you all next week. And co-host, the floor is yours.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And if you're drunk in the back of the car, we hope you had fun with it. And we hope you all come back for an evening at the movies. Goodbye.
Peace and hair grease.
I cried like a baby coming home from the bar. Oh.